AMN DriveTime is sponsored by Aishin, your trusted and reliable source for aftermarket automotive components and technology. Visit AishinAftermarket.com for more information.
Jeff, welcome to AMN DriveTime, sponsored by our good friends at Aishin.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Bill. It's finally good to have the chance to sit here and talk to you. And we've talked off camera a lot.
We have.
We'll see what happens on camera.
In lots of places.
Yes.
So we are at Apex 2025 on the Wednesday of the show. And Jeff, for the benefit of our audience, not everybody knows you. Maybe everybody does know this, but walk us through your professional career and how you ended up at MANN+HUMMEL. And I think people are just interested in how you got started in the business.
Yeah, I guess I was born into the business in a way. When I was 13 years old, my dad had a friend that had a parts store. I needed some new hockey equipment. He took me over there, and my job was to put up inventory and stock. And from there, I guess he's given me a lot of opportunities, or gave me a lot of opportunities along the way. When my parents owned a store, I've worked in the warehousing business.
Your parents had a parts store too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I'd tell the story a lot. When I was a teenager, I sometimes had to drive a delivery truck to school with a hat on the top. It isn't real cool, but, somehow I got through that. It was just, my parents gave me every opportunity to learn at the store. Then I worked in a warehouse during the summers during college. And this, honestly, at some point thought, I really don't want to be in this industry, but figured out it's where all my contacts were. I took the WIX filters job almost 30 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. And went in, was salesperson out in the field. Went inside and did some brand management stuff, some sales management stuff. Here I am today, taking this path that maybe early on I didn't want to take, but it's been more than rewarding, and honestly, I've accomplished things that I never thought I would accomplish.
And what was your family store? Was it associated with what kind of store?
It was a Napa store.
It was a Napa store.
Yeah, in Jeffersonville, Indiana. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It was fun because my dad was operations manager at the Louisville DC that serviced that store. So what I learned, when you're operations manager at a DC, you know where all the inventory is hidden, where the stock's hidden. So if we needed something and they said, "Oh, we can't find it," he would call over there and tell them exactly where to find it.
When you needed a part.
Yeah. And then it was my job to drive across the bridge and then go pick it up. And yeah, so I think they loved him for that and hated him for that.
Yeah, right.
But it was, that's what I feel like when you have your own independent store, your own independent business, you got to find ways to make things happen.
Yep.
He wasn't trying to be a pain, but he found a way to get something that he needed to sell.
Trying to take care of the customer, right?
Exactly.
You're a director of sales for the traditional aftermarket for MANN+HUMMEL, as we know. Tell us about the MANN+HUMMEL product lineup you're showcasing here at Apex, and how are you helping customers and attendees understand the value of your latest filtration innovations?
Well, I think we have great people in our booth. And the cool part about being part of MANN+HUMMEL is we have some great brands. We have the MANN brand, we have the WIX brand, we have the Purolator brand. 3 really great brands, can serve different market channels, serve the same market channel, but we have really great brands and we have really great people in the booth that know filtration. It's all we do is filtration, and that's what they love talking about. I like talking about it, and I think I've learned a few things about filters along the way, and it's fun to talk about them to people who maybe are asking questions because they don't really know much about filtration. Seems pretty simple, pretty basic product, but there's a lot of technology that goes into it.
I'm sure. So this is for the head of sales.
Yes.
This is going to be an easy question
Well,
for you.
I'll go find him.
Oh, well, we got him right here. What do you see as MANN+HUMMEL's biggest differentiators, whether in brand strength, marketing, customer engagement, within a competitive filtration environment, right?
Yeah.
So how do you differentiate yourself?
Again, I think it's the people that we have out in the field. We're one of the few remaining companies that actually have factory-trained representation in the field that tell our story every day. I've spoke about the brands that we have. And honestly, when you even come back into our office, you have some senior people. I guess I'm seniored, almost been there 30 years, mixed with young people and trying to share those experiences. And the new people kind of pushing people like myself to learn new things. So you have this combination of people inside, outside, great brands, and also listening to customers and figuring out what they need. Where do they want to go? Where do they want to take this product? We had some interesting conversations this week about people who want to take product in directions that, you know, like, oh, that's a great idea. Let's try that. So I think it's, you know, a combination of great people listening, great brands, great, you know, back of the house support, great manufacturing quality, all that really set us out. Plus, we're focused only on filtration. We don't have a lot of distractions. It's filters every day, all day.
So a few years ago, there was a little bit of a fill conversation.
Sure.
And where does that sit today as we wind up 2025?
It's again, I'm part history professor back at the office, and you know, people have left me with documents on what our order fill was through our what we thought were our best of times. Honestly, we never had to talk about the subject. I can go back to those documents and look at them, and I can see where we are today. We're better off from an order fill perspective than we were when we had no issues. So our order fill is in the mid to high 90s. Not a conversation at this year's show. And it's now allowed us to talk about all the things that we do well, which is helping customers sell product.
So as you know, filtration technology can be complex for today's techs and counter pros, right? So how is MANN+HUMMEL supporting education and training in the field to ensure that customers choose and install the right filters for every application? As you know, there's that, well, you're the sponsor of the Professional Counter Person of the Year, right?
Sure.
And we talk about that interaction between the counter professional and the technician. Some would say the most important link in the chain of distribution, right? That interaction.
Yeah.
So what is WIX doing to help the counter sales professional combined with the technician to make sure they're getting the right product?
Yeah, so I think we have some unique kind of properties, I like to call them, or things that we do. We have online training. We have our training where people can come to our training facility for a few days and learn about filtration. And it's not brand driven. It's like, how do filters work in a system? We have, again, the online portion, and then we have, again, factory trained people out in the field doing training segments every day, whether it's 2 minutes, 10 minutes. We have a concept called WIX 10, where we all know that everyone's busy, like the counter people.
Yep.
They might only have a few minutes. So you can, if you have 10, then you probably have the golden ticket to explain what we do. So we try to chop it into smaller bits so they can be served up out in the field. It's, you know, counter people are, when we get to make that choice on that award, I just remember the people that I've worked with in stores and other places, and those really good counter people are like wizards to me.
Yeah, they are.
And it's scary to think, where are those wizards going, and how are they going to pass that information along? And then when you go into stores today, you talk to young people, and it's a different adventure. And I even went into a store the other day and said to somebody, I said, "This is going to be fun. Here we go. I need an oil pan gasket for a crate motor, a 350 crate motor." And he looked.
So you were kind of secret shopping?
No, I was shopping for myself.
Oh, you were shopping,
Yeah.
shopping. Okay.
Yeah, and I said, "This is what I need, but this is going to be a fun adventure." And he looked at me like, "I don't understand. How's this going to be fun?" So I tell him what I need, full well knowing he's going to start with, "What's the make? What's the model? What's the year?" So he started, "What's the year?" And I said, "Well, it's probably somewhere between 1980 and 1985. Well, how do you put that in the computer when it's looking for a single year? So that, to me, is who we have to help with our programs, and they will maybe be that seasoned professional down the road.
Yeah.
But you have that diversity of somebody's been doing it for 30 years and somebody's maybe been doing it for 3 days.
Right.
And to me, that's what we're supposed to do with our training program.
Did he find the filter?
It wasn't a it was a gasket.
Oh, it's gasket.
The thing was, I had already looked it up on my phone and tried this experiment, and it was going horribly wrong. And I finally said, well, here's the part number. Let's see if you have it.
And did he?
Not at that store. I had to go someplace else. But
So that you're taking care of the counter pro. And then what about for the tech in terms of making sure? Because there's that, you know, some people who makes the decision. Well, the counter pro. No, the tech makes the decision. Somewhere in the middle, right? So what do you do to keep the tech up to speed?
I think it's the same sort of thing. Can we get them back into our facilities to get some training? We often have techs come back with their salespeople and our salespeople. But again, can you take those training segments and push them into the technician's hands? The other thing that I think we need to do a lot more of is create content, and we'll be creating a lot more content that people can digest on their phones, in other ways that they like to do today. Let's face it. I mean, you and I probably look a lot of things up on YouTube, and that's how we learn to do the next thing, or the next thing, or the next thing. So how do you create that content? Just like we're sitting here today. I mean, you probably in your early life didn't think I'll be doing these video things that are creating content.
No, I didn't think so.
Me neither.
What else you need beyond a magazine?
Exactly. It's got words in there.
Yeah, right. What else is there?
Learn to read, and you got the whole world at your hands. Yeah. So try to chop up the subject into different paths to serve up for the time that the people have to learn. And again, I think having people in the field is super important, because people get nervous about what they don't know about. And if our people can go with them and help calm the nerves and help them talk about and sell something new that day, I mean, it's the fun part of that job for sure.
Is it common today for manufacturers to have a lot of folks in the field?
No, I don't think so. You see it. You see the most successful companies and manufacturers like ourselves that have people in the field.
Yep.
It helps.
Right.
When you move away from it, and I've seen different parts of our business sometimes move away from it, and different customers move away from it. It's not helpful, because we were talking about somebody earlier, and he taught me this lesson about you have to grab mind share of that customer for that period of time, a day, an hour, a minute. And when you have field salespeople, that's what they're there to do: sell, but also drag somebody into a situation they might not have gone into that day to sell something.
Right.
Let's look for filters over here or there. And that's where it's super helpful.
Sure.
And also fun for them. When I was in the field, I liked going to see where I could find product. I mean, I was telling the story the other day. People would say, Jeff, you spend a lot of time at golf courses. Well, have you ever been to a golf course and done a filter survey? Some of those mowers have more. One mower might have more filtration product on it than the 2 or 3 cars you have in your garage.
Really? I didn't know that.
Because of the hydraulic filters, the air filters, the fuel filters, the oil filters. It's pretty amazing.
And you don't really enjoy golf, so that...
It might have been a lie, but no. But that's one thing you learn when you're a salesperson is, if you like to go and do something, you got to make up a story while you're doing it.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Jeff, it is tradition to do something on DriveTime called Lightning Round.
All right.
And I'm going to ask you some questions. You're just going to give me an answer off the top of your head.
Okay.
All right?
Let's do it.
If you could take a road trip somewhere, where would you go? And you got to drive.
Oh, I want to do this when I retire. I want to drive from the East Coast to the West Coast. And maybe...
Well, is that Boston to San Diego? Or
let's say Wilmington, North Carolina to L.A. Maybe if you could hit some of Route 66, do all that sort of thing. I've done the Hot Rod Power Tour a couple times. It's a little bit like a really cool road trip.
Yep.
And to me, that seems like it would be fun. Get off the highway, get on the back roads, and just take some time to drive and, a fun, different type of car.
How long does it take to do that trip?
The Hot Rod Power Tour is 5 days.
But if you're going to do your road trip, how long would you take to go do that?
I'm thinking if you did it over a month.
Right.
Yeah, because you got to stop, see the stuff.
You do.
So,
that's the whole gig, right?
Yeah.
What is a piece of advice that stuck with you throughout your career or personal life? It might be something you learned as a kid or a teenager, or, new to the business world, and anything kind of...
I think it's pretty simple. Get up and show up. I mean, if you can't get up out of bed and show up to whatever you have to do on time, you're probably not going to be too successful. I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm the old guy that still believes that, but I still think it's true. I see some of my nieces and nephews. They get up and show up people, and the careers and the things that they're doing is beyond their imagination, probably mine, because those are the type of people, and guess what? Employers are looking for those type of people.
Sure are. What's one thing that always motivates you to start the day strong?
I think seeing my colleagues at the office. I don't work from home much. It's not that I don't like it. It's just I feel more comfortable when I go to the office, and when I get into the office, seeing some of the people that are there, people I've worked with for a long time, short time. For some reason, they always like to ask my advice, and that kind of motivates me and makes me get up and go into the office in the morning. And that, for now, is my main motivation.
I'm an office guy too. I don't like working from home.
No, I mean, my office sometimes is my back porch. During COVID, it was my back porch,
Right.
and everybody started to ask me, how are the birds doing today? Because that's what they could hear chirping in
Right,
the
that's
background.
all you could hear, right?
Yeah.
You're right. It was
Yeah.
always really loud. The birds were really loud.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your favorite muscle car?
I'd say it's not a car, but it's the one in my barn. I have a '65 Chevy C10 pickup truck that I bought a year ago. Spent 6 months kind of getting it how I like it, and I'd say that's my favorite thing right now, because I can take it to car shows, take it to truck shows, and I just like the look of that era of automobiles where you didn't have to have a lot of safety concerns, fuel mileage, who cared. Then the designers could design really cool looking automobiles and trucks, and that's my favorite.
I think I know the answer. Last question. DIY or DIFM guy?
No, I'm say 1,000% do it myself. Or
Yeah, I think I got it already.
yeah, so again, I have this truck. I have a couple other cars. I like rolling around on the garage floor. I think my wife thinks I'm crazy, but I just say to her, because she can see out the window, I said, if my feet don't move for a period of time, maybe call somebody, but you'll never hear if it fell on me. Just make sure I move around every once in a while. So I love DIY stuff, not only working on automobiles and trucks, but I do it around the house. I can sit in my house and go, oh, I built that, or I did that, and I have to do things with my hands to feel, I have to do it because it makes me feel good.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah, I mean, I can think and solve problems, but if I can do something with my hands, it is just the way I work, I guess.
It's great to have you on AMN Drive Time, sponsored by our great friends at Eischen.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it. It's been fun.